Tonight, Russian attacks escalating in Ukraine now. President Zelensky warning of nuclear attacks.
Plus, confusion is in the air as masking comes and goes. What officials are recommending now.
Also ahead, an arrest has been made after a deadly mass shooting in Syracuse this past weekend, leaving one person dead. We'll have the latest on this.
WTOP Nightly News starts now.
Good evening, and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Jose Ramirez.
And I'm Hayden Wentworth.
A 23-year-old man was arrested today for a mass shooting that killed one man and injured 4 others early Saturday morning in Armory Square in Syracuse. Brandon Rolfe is being accused of shooting 5 people and killing Akok Lual.
Akok Lual's younger brother was also shot and was left in critical condition, but according to his parents, he's doing much better. The 3 other victims have yet to be identified. Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh called the shooting brazen and senseless at a news conference at the Public Safety Building. Rolfe is being charged with second-degree murder, second-degree possession of a weapon, and 4 counts of second-degree attempted murder.
And in South Carolina, police in Columbia have arrested another suspect in connection with a mass shooting that occurred on Saturday in the Columbiana Center Mall. Marquise Love Robinson, age 20, is being charged with 9 counts of assault and battery, attempted murder, and an unlawful carry of a handgun. Police have also issued a warrant for arrest of a 3rd suspect.
Police in Oswego County are investigating a heavy machinery theft from the town of Amboy. The stolen property is a yellow 2017 Caterpillar excavator taken from private property on County Route 17. If anyone has any information about the theft, you can contact New York State Police with the number seen on the screen, 315-366-6000.
Now for the latest in Ukraine. Russian forces continue to launch more missiles in eastern Ukraine in their latest effort now referred to as the Battle of Donbas. This comes after Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky announced to the world that Putin could use nuclear weapons in his country. Putin has also made it clear that nuclear weapons are not off the table in response to the US's involvement. Chris Newman breaks down the conflict in the east.
Russian forces are ramping up attacks in Donbass, a sprawling region that blankets much of the eastern part of the country. The battle for control of the territory, which has been the front line of Ukraine's conflict with Russia since 2014, could define Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion after his forces suffered failures in Kyiv and across much of central and northern Ukraine. As Russian troops advance, thousands of civilians are trying to flee, but unsure of where to go next.
Over the last days, there has been a continuous increase in shelling and attacks.
In the southern city of Mykolaiv, residents describe the ongoing chaos.
This sound just woke me up and I was like paralyzed. And then in 3 seconds, this huge explosion. And you understand that you have no time to run. You just have to live through this.
Ukrainians devastated by the horrors of war at the hands of the Russian military.
I feel only hate. We can't forgive it, maybe for life.
Russia continued its bombardment of cities Monday with at least 4 missile strikes reported in the western city of Lviv, where at least 7 people were killed, according to Ukrainian officials. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
The Russian forces are attempting to take control of these 2 provinces in the area. This after the city of Mariupol was wiped away by Russian forces earlier this week, according to Zelensky.
And in an effort to support Ukraine, back here at home, Mayor Billy Barlow is thanking local residents for their participation following an essential supplies drive for Ukraine. Barlow also says that he is not surprised at the generosity of the Oswego residents who stepped up to help those in need. Hundreds of donations were sent over a 2-week period.
Now for the latest in COVID-19, mandates are vanishing on public transportation after a federal judge struck down a mask mandate. Isabel Rosales reports on the mixed reactions from passengers, but one doctor says, don't ditch the mask just yet.
Unmasked. A flight attendant helps passengers trash theirs.
It has brought me to tears on so many occasions.
It's a seemingly new chapter in a more than 2-year battle against the COVID-19 pandemic.
I think it's time. I think it's great.
The rules shakeup comes after an abrupt federal ruling Monday, finding the mask mandate on public transportation unlawful. Most major airlines now relaxing the rules. Rideshare giants Uber and Lyft also eliminating the requirement for drivers and customers. On trains and buses, Washington's metro system and Atlanta's MARTA no longer mandate masking. The move sparking questions and mixed reactions.
I'm not in favor of it, no. I think it is not the time.
We've been waiting for this for 2 years.
Part of me is excited to see a new normal unfold, but also it's still a little bit unnerving.
But what are the medical experts saying?
Just because this ruling was made by a judge doesn't mean that suddenly the science has changed.
Dr. Lena Wen insists that while COVID-19 hospitalizations have gone down, it's still important to mask up under certain conditions.
Whenever they are in crowded indoor settings, that includes on airplanes, on buses, on trains.
In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
The Justice Department says it will appeal a Monday court ruling that struck down the federal government's mask mandate for travelers if the CDC determines such a requirement is still necessary to protect public health. Locally, COVID-19 cases are pretty grim. According to the Oswego County Health Department officials, there have been a total of 744 COVID cases, and 2 more COVID-related deaths have been recorded. Oswego County Public Health Director Jia-Cheng Huan says although the number is lower compared to last week's, new cases remain high. Data shows that the most recent hospitalizations are those aged 65 or older.
About 90% of kids who were hospitalized from COVID during the Omicron surge were unvaccinated, a new CDC study finds. To put this into perspective, the study found nearly 400 children between the ages of 5 through 11 who were hospitalized between the end of December and the end of February, found that 87% of them were unvaccinated. 19% of those admitted were admitted to the ICU, and of those hospitalized, 30% had no underlying conditions.
Jansen Pharmaceuticals reaches a $99 million settlement for the company's alleged role in West Virginia's opioid crisis. The state's attorney general claimed the pharmaceutical giant and its parent company, Johnson & Johnson, persuaded doctors to prescribe opioids more frequently. Attorneys say this helped spike opioid use for chronic pain issues, eventually leading to a rise in fatal overdoses. Johnson & Johnson settled with the state of New York last year for $230 million for a similar situation.
The administrator of the DEA is warning of an alarming new trend of mass overdoses caused by fentanyl. According to DEA Administrator Ann Milgram, such events are defined as when 3 or more people overdose at the same time and the same place. The DEA blames the trend on dealers mixing the synthetic opioid fentanyl into other narcotics. Over the past year, overdose deaths rose in 47 states.
Governor Kathy Hochul activates New York State Emergency Operations Center in response to the late winter storm. The storm last night brought heavy snow, causing power outages and difficult travel conditions in several upstate regions. At peak, little less than 200,000 had no power due to falling trees. The largest impacts were to the southern tier and parts of the capital region, Mohawk Valley and North Country, where 6 to 11 inches of snow fell overnight.
Broadband internet accessibility is a part of President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law. More than 30 million Americans live in areas that provide minimally acceptable speeds, a particular issue in the rural communities of the country. President Biden hopes that this law will help more Americans do their jobs, participate in health care, stay connected, and access their schoolwork, a particular issue he mentions in his speech.
Again, should a parent have to sit in their car in a McDonald's parking lot, literally, so that their child can get access to high-speed internet to do their homework?
The bipartisan infrastructure law will provide $65 billion to help close the digital divide.
When we return, tax season is here, and we'll tell you what to expect on returns.
Plus, the latest in the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Johnny Depp takes the stand today.
But first, switching gears to the weather now. Meteorologist David Rienzo joins us in the studio now. David, it's been pretty dreary out. Can we expect that to turn around anytime soon?
Yeah, today wasn't the nicest weather that we could have expected, but in the coming future, we can still see that rain moving in. You know the old saying, April showers bring May flowers. But what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims. On Wednesday, you can expect some high winds moving in. It'll still be a bit chilly though, but as the week progresses, you'll be seeing that spring temperatures, and you'll be seeing that those nice April weather that you would expect. Stick around after the break for my full forecast.
Only on WTOP.
DiCarlo on the rebound! Alex DiCarlo!
Yeah, it's been a wild game so far. A lot of high scoring, so definitely tighten it up and play out that full 60 minutes.
Welcome back to the best show on WTOP 10, out on our own Oswego.
Did you hear that Bad Bunny's going to be in Canada over spring break, you know?
I heard that one.
Drink cognac. The week.
Oh my God.
Roll it.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is David Genzo. I'll be taking a look at your weather for the next week. Before I do that though, I want to take a quick second to talk about this question that I've been getting a lot. Some people have been wondering, what does 10% chance of rain mean? Basically 10% means that there's a 1 in 10 chance that a rain will occur, but it does not correlate to the severity of the rain. You could have a 10% chance of a severe thunderstorm or a 100% chance of a light rain. Another way to look at it is that if there is 100 days with 10% chance of rain, you should be getting 10 days of rain. So basically 10% means that you can still expect rain, but it doesn't mean that there will be little rain. Taking a look at the satellite, you'll be seeing that there's cloud coverage over most of New England. That would explain why there was some cold weather today, not much sun peeking through those clouds. If we take a look at the radar though, you'll be seeing this system that moved in a little while ago. The Tug Hill Plateau right around here, they can still be expecting to see 3 to 6 inches of rain or snow tonight. And then around Oswego, you'll also be seeing that rain, so you might be looking at precipitation if you're outside tonight or even if you're just looking out the window. Looking at tonight, as I said, scattered showers throughout the night with a slight chance of snow around 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. Cold temperatures, 36 degrees with some strong winds, which will carry into tomorrow. Tomorrow, looking at 13 to 21 miles per hour with some sun in the afternoon, but it'll be cloudy in the morning. I'll take a look at that in a second. 47 degrees, a bit nicer than it was today, so we've got that to look forward to. But once again, you'll be seeing this cloud coverage on this nice piano. The temperatures will rise as the day continues, peaking around 4 or 5 p.m. Sorry. For some reason, this piano did not put the cloud coverage right, but around the beginning of the day, you'll be seeing that the cloud coverage will be pretty high, but then as the day continues, it'll decrease as temperatures increase, and then once again increase as the night goes on. Taking a look at the 7-day forecast. Pretty nice temperatures for this weekend, although there's a bit of chance of rain on Saturday. Sunday, you've got some nice skies, or nice temperatures, but the skies will be a bit cloudy. Next week, you can also expect to see some rain and showers. However, Friday will be really nice, so if you have the time, make sure that you can get out there. I'm going to throw it back to the desk right now for trending.
David, thank you for that. Let's take a look now at what's trending. Actor Johnny Depp takes the stand in his defamation case against ex-wife Amber Heard. Depp is suing Heard for $50 million in a Fairfax County, Virginia court over a 2018 Washington Post op-ed in which she wrote about her experience with domestic abuse. Depp, known for starring in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, testified that his goals is the truth and that he never hit his former wife, as she has alleged.
Were arguments and things of that nature, but never did I myself reach the point of striking Miss Heard in any way.
Although Heard did not refer to Depp by name in the op-ed, it came roughly 2 years after she alleged he bruised her face by throwing a phone at her. Heard has tried to get Depp's lawsuit against her dismissed, but has been unsuccessful. She filed a $100 million countersuit against Depp for defamation, which is ongoing.
It's a day after tax day, and the IRS says some Americans may receive smaller refunds than they expect, and those payments may be delayed. Jen Sullivan has more on your Consumer Watch. Yesterday was the deadline to file your taxes, but if you have filed for an extension, you are given an extra 6 months to get their returns in by October 17th.
Natural gas futures fell sharply from its highest levels in 13 years. The commodity tumbled 10% after 5 straight days of gains. Investors saw a spike in natural gas futures due to, in part, a rare April nor'easter hitting in the Northeast. But now traders are looking to warmer weather that could lower demand for home heating. Natural gas is still the most unpopular way to heat homes in the U.S.
Prices at the pump are on the rise again. Gas prices had been falling slowly over the past several weeks after Russia's invasion into Ukraine sent them spiking last month. But now they're up again. The average price for a gallon of gas bottomed out at $4.07 last week. However, it has risen 3 cents by Tuesday. Experts warn uncertainty in Ukraine and typical price increases seen during the summer driving season could continue to put upward pressure on fuel prices.
Let's take a quick look at what we can expect in sports with Hunter Truman.
You can expect some highlights from a packed holiday weekend, including golf, softball, and baseball. Let's just say the Lakers had a pretty good weekend. I'll let you know all the details when we come back on WTOP Nightly News.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think
can't.
you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of times.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
Here's our weather elements and our social media
and that's all.
Welcome back to WTOP Nightly News. I'm Hunter Truman with your Tuesday Sports Report. Getting things started with some baseball. The Lakers headed to Oneonta for a big 3-game series against the Red Dragons on Friday and Saturday. First game was an absolute gem for pitcher Jacob Sanders, who only allowed 1 hit. Meanwhile, Oswego's offense was on fire, scoring 8 runs on 10 hits and easily taking Game 1 8-0. Game 2 looked very similar. Oneonta started the game up 1-0 until Paul Tomorrow unleashed a 2-run shot to get things going for the Lakers. They'd ride that momentum to a comfortable 7-1 win. The final game of the series was a bit of a closer one, though. After being down 5-3 in the 9th, the Lakers were able to manufacture 2 runs to tie it up and force the game into extras. In the 10th, Tyshawn Featherstone put the game to bed, crushing a 3-run bomb and making it easy to close down the Red Dragons 8-6. After taking all 3 games, Oswego moves to 19-6 on the season and remains a perfect 9-0 in the SUNYAC Conference. Definitely a great start for the team, especially as they make their way into the SUNYAC tournament. Going 9-0, you get the number 1 seed pretty easily. Going on to women's softball, the team headed to the field on Thursday, though at home versus Potsdam for a doubleheader. In Game 1, the Lakers offense was on full display, including Ty Smith, who went 3 for 4 with 5 RBIs in the game. The Lakers would easily win the game 13-3, and Game 2 saw them ride that momentum of the first game into the second one with another great offensive showing, along with stellar pitching from Fiona Higgins. Lakers would go on to win 9-4 on 12 hits. The sweep improves the Lakers' record to 8-17 with their next games Wednesday against Plattsburgh State. And they're pretty close, not in the playoffs just yet, but if they keep winning like they do, potentially get into a playoff spot coming up. Now we're going to move over to golf. The Empire 8 Championships finished up on Saturday with the Oswego's men team finishing 2nd overall. This was thanks to Jake Owens, who finished 1st overall in the Spring Championship by going 15 over par. At the moment, the overall championship scoreboards for the season has the Lakers' Ryan Fecko tied for 1st at 10 over par. The golf team is set to host their 14th annual Lakers Spring Tournament on April 23rd and the 24th at the Oswego Country Club. Now we're going to move over to some NBA action as we head to watch the Toronto Raptors take on the Philadelphia 76ers in Game 2 of the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. Starting here, we have a 3 by Van Vliet, and he lets it fly and hits the triple. Now Joel Embiid inside, fighting, missing the first, but making the second as he gives the 76ers the lead with a minute 25 to go. Next possession, OG Anunoby takes it himself, or pardon, that was James Harden there, taking it in there. And we have Embiid now taking it around. Harden gonna lob it up for Embiid, who slams it down one-handed, and that's not it. As you can see here, Embiid takes the 3 there later in the game. Now we have Tyrese Maxey shooting up a 3, and that one goes for the Sixers. What a great shot there from Maxey, taking it from deep. Maxey once again leading up, passing it, and Danny Green with the slam. Philadelphia on all cylinders right now as the bench celebrates. And that would end up being the end of the game. Toronto had no answer from that point. 76ers would win this one easily, 112-97. They now take a 2-0 series lead as they head over to Toronto for Game 3. And if any of you are interested, playoffs are also happening tonight for the NBA. That includes, I believe, the Hawks and the Heat that are currently playing as we speak, and the Timberwolves versus the Grizzlies, and then finally later tonight, the Pelicans versus the Suns. So a full slate of NBA playoff games on tonight after you watch this broadcast. So you can stay tuned for that. And after the break, we'll have a final check of the weather with David Rienzo.
Athletics. Aaron, there were 6 big points. This is the one you've been waiting for. This group has never beaten Cortland.
Getting started with some men's soccer as the Lakers had 2 conference matchups.
For half of the Lakers' goals this entire season.
Offense is key. You talked all about scoring goals.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
For the governor race with a strong lead, former Governor Andrew Cuomo is...
Barlow announced the completion of a large building mural in downtown Oswego.
The renovations on the Hewitt Union Building, turning it into the new Hewitt Hall.
And as we move into tomorrow, that rain is going to be in our area.
Moving to the Diamond now, as Sweet Caroline got a lot sweeter last night.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
We've been marinating chicken in all sorts of liquids for 24 hours. These are vitamins and minerals and things that you need, nutrients. The chicken speedy is a staple of our culture.
Welcome back, everyone. We have something special for you now. Take a look at our pet of the week. Meet Lava. This orange beauty is bright, playful, and friendly, a great family pet. If you're interested in Lava or any other adoptable pet from our friends at the Oswego Humane Society, you can email info@oswegohumane.org. That email is on your screen.
And before we go, David, can we get final weather to see?
Yes, you can. Tomorrow you can expect the cool temperatures, but the sun will poke out around the end of the day. Friday you can also be seeing some nice sun, so once again, if you can get out there, you might need a coat, but it'll still be nice to see the sun once in a while. And this weekend you can also appreciate the warmer weather.
All right, and that's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for Sports Talk.
Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everyone. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Good job.
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Major Discussions is the new show that explores the stories of students right here on campus. I personally came here to SUNY Oswego for the broadcasting program because I love to hear people's stories and to do work just like this.